MGA back with you, and today we're back on the MGA II Ghia fastback. Now when I started this project, the idea was it's a pretty ratty car, no big deal if I cut it up. Let's just have a little fun. Find a rear window, side windows that we can cut out of a car and get all the surrounding sheet metal, just get them in place where they look all right, fill in the gaps, and do it all rather quickly for as little money as possible, and maybe even just leave it totally ratty and rusty and just have some fun. And of course, now once I started putting it together, the rear window didn't work out, which meant I had to modify the opening. But then I realized that the Ghia seal and the Beetle seal are different. The step is a little different, just enough where you're not going to use half of one opening, half another, and able to put a seal in it. Which led me to think, well, since I'm already doing a Lexan window in anyway, let's just go at it a little bit different way. And because the way this seals within the Ghia is completely different, won't work so well. Well, now I'm making all my own window openings. So that escalated pretty quickly, didn't it? So I figure, what the heck, now we're really diving in. So I started working with this, trying to figure out my opening that I wanted, and this is the right size to match the windows that are currently in, the window openings that are currently in this car. So then I should be able to take a front windshield seal, split it, start at the bottom, work my way around, and then glue it at the bottom. Then I'll have seals and trim and everything that looks the same, both front and rear. So now we're into a whole lot more work, a lot more time, a lot more fabrication. I hope you guys are ready for it. I hope I am. So this, I'm not going to call the final shape, but I'm going to call it pretty darn close. But this is what I come up with so far. I put all those rods on here to help visualize it. I think it gives a bit of 356 or even Mercedes 300 SL kind of vibes to it in a way. Maybe even a Bristol. But I'm not trying to copy anything. I'm just trying to make that window blend in well and everything else look right and not be as awkward as pretty much all the other fastbacks I've seen done, which have not been very many so far. But yeah, so I'm still playing with window opening here to see if I'm getting exactly what I want, but that's pretty close. Now I'm going to mess with covering some of this with cardboard to get a better view of it. So here it is, mostly covered in cardboard. Now, this cardboard obviously isn't going to bend and shape and stuff, so I just use strips, and it's kind of just in the ballpark. It should be a little smoother when it's done. But that's the basic shape I think we're going for here. If you like it, let me know in the comments. If you think we can do something better, let me know in the comments. So now that I got a shape that I'm pretty happy with, now before I actually try to do any metal work, I need to figure out how I'm going to be able to duplicate that shape in metal, because I got to take all this stuff off and I've got to cut all this stuff out and then figure out how I can still put my window opening in the same spot and get all the same shape. So what I've done is I've made some minor adjustments to my spine here. I've taken a bunch of measurements to make sure it's actually in the center of the car and not just eyeballed close enough for styling purposes. And I've put some clecos in it. 2 up here and 2 back there so that it's held in place. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another one of these spines and put it about 12, 13 inches out here. Find this shape and then make a mirror image of that to put on the other side of the car. And then I'll cleco those on front and back as well. And that'll give me some place where I can make a bunch of marks here and actually attach the window frame to those 3 ribs as a point in space that I know where that needs to be at when I start building. All right, so I just spent a couple hours here where I made this spine here, then I got it to fit the way I wanted it to, which ended up making me adjust this one slightly after I saw what this one looked like. But then I used this one to make another one that matches, but the other side, and I got those clecoed in place. So now from here, I can work on the window opening. Try to get it symmetrical, where it's curving the right way, and figure out how I'm going to attach it to here so that it can hang there for placement, and then go from there. So how I decided to hold the rear window frame in place is on these spines here. I made these little brackets here. I'll put those right on here. I've made marks. We'll tack them in place. And with those things tacked in place here, I can take the window frame and I can either clamp it right here, or I can put a cleco up through there to hold it in place, and then it'll allow me to keep this thing all nice and symmetrical and then hold it in place. What I've been doing is a bit more playing around here, and now I've got the rear window opening all set and figured out. I made another side over there that matches this side. I've got this whole frame is welded together now. So this is where the window is going to be. This is the size it's going to be. And now I can start moving forward. Now, part of the reason why I've just been playing with styling and I haven't gotten into actually doing any cutting on the car or any actual welding on the car yet is because I was waiting until I got this part sorted out. So now I got me a title in my name. Got all that sorted out. It's official. So now we can start actually digging into this thing.